The rap was all of our ideas really, and then we all changed it and added bits and took bits out to make sure that it all fitted in with what we wanted to do.
Well, our RE teacher, Mrs. Benson, told us about a competition we could enter, so we decided to make a video about how stories from today can relate to stories from the Bible, and we chose the stories of Nicky Cruz from today and Zacheus from the Bible, and we used shadow puppets and humans in shadow to compare the two stories together and show how they're relevant to each other.
Now Zacheus was a very little man and a man of little shame. His job was to gather the taxes up, but he was on a cheating game. He made his neighbours quiver and shake and frighten to the core. They knew their money would soon be gone when his shadow crossed the door.
Zacheus was a tax collector from the Bible, and he went round to all the homes and collected the taxes from the people, but he collected a lot more than he should have and kept half of it for himself.
We looked at Christianity in today's world and saw how relevant the programmes seemed to be. They brought Christianity very much as a thing for today. When we were looking at people who have lived out an idea that is in a Bible story or within a biblical character, and Zacheus and Nicky Cruz matched together very nicely.
Now Nicky Cruz was a mean young man and a man of little shame. He made his job scaring other folk. His was a violent game. He made his neighbours quiver and shake and frighten to the core. They knew there would be trouble and drugs when his shadow crossed their door.
Nicky Cruz, he's American, and when he was a little boy he got badly treated by his family, so then he ran away from home and then got involved in a gang, which showed him that you should be having drugs, and then he became a downer now and then became a sinner.
Now one fine day on Nicky heard a preacher on the street. The neighbours seemed delighted, the crowd grew excited, but Nicky just stamped his feet. The preacher said that Jesus was real, a loving and caring man, and Nicky thought he just might listen, though he was no fan.
I think they began to actually see more and more clearly what it was I'd been trying to teach them. The fact that Nicky Cruz was a Bible story come to life. And I think that actually impressed them more than they thought it would.
Then from his branch old Zacheus saw Jesus coming down the street. He came quite close and closer still, till it was just by Zacheus' feet.
Then on the platform the preacher stood and looked out at the crowd, and he said, God loves everyone here, and he said it good and loud.
Jesus looked up and Zacheus looked down, and the crowd went suddenly still.
The preacher looked down and Nicky looked up, and the crowd went suddenly still.
And all went quiet enough to hear Zacheus say, I will.
And all went quiet enough to hear Nicky say, I will.
Yes, I will come down from this crazy old seat, and I will take you home for dinner.
And I will have ears for what you say, amen, even though I'm a sinner.
It was really hard work when we first started off, but when we got into it we started to enjoy it. We gave up quite a lot of time and worked at home, but in the end it was really worth it.
I've learnt in a way that people who have sinned and are bad could become good if they really wanted to.
To learn about a lad who went through such a bad time and was a nasty person, that Christianity could change him. If it could even change him, then perhaps there is something to this Christianity. And I think they were quite touched by that.
You see before you a new man, a man who has seen the way. Now I know that God loves even me, this is my good news day.
Amen.